Hey guys, in preparation for the linear equations unit test, I'm going to go through some problems I think are likely to show up. Here's the first one. It says, which ordered pair is a solution of the equation? So basically, you're just trying to plug these in and see which ones work. So if you put in 2 times 4 is, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 plus 6 is indeed 10, so that one definitely works. Now the only question is, does 1, 3 work? So 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 3 is 9, 2 plus 9 is not 10. So the only one of the ones they gave us worked. Now there's an infinite number of others, but of the ones they've given us choices, only 2, 2 works. All right, so another type of question, complete the missing value. So this time they told us what y is. So if you plug that in, 3 times 8 is 24. So what am I going to add to 24 to get 12? Well, that's going to be negative 12 because you got 24. You got to get down. If you subtract that, 12 minus 24 is negative 12. And so what times 2 gives me negative 12? That would be negative 6. Okay, what is the slope? Slope is change in y over change in x. So now what you're doing is you're looking for a couple of nice points that you can work with. Okay, so there it certainly looks like that goes through the point negative 3, 1. And then another nice point appears to be over here, positive 2, negative 3. So my change in y, which is the top number, is to go from 1 down to negative 3. So my top number is negative 4. So negative 4 is going to be the top number of my fraction. And then from negative 3 to 2, that's 1, 2, pardon me, that's 5 over. So 5 is going to be my bottom number because my slope is change in y divided by change in x. So my change in y was down 4, that's negative 4. My change in x was positive 5, so I put negative 4 over 5. Graph the line with slope 2/5. Okay, so it's got to go through the point negative 2, 4, right there. That's my first point, negative 2, 4. Now, my slope is 2/5, so that tells me go right 1, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I can't get that point. It's not letting me go that high. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to switch this around. This is why I like to do it this way. I'm going to come and plot this one here. So that's negative 2, 4. Now, instead of going 2 right and 5 up, I'm going to go 2 left and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm going to double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my slope. So see, now my slope is 2 to the right, 5 up. 2 to the right, 5 up. Oh, I missed it. Where'd I go, miss it? Negative 2, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's because I just did this upside down. My slope is change in y is 2, and my change in x is 5. So when you make a mistake like that, okay. So I'm going to actually go back and do it originally the way I was because I did it wrong. Okay, so I need to go right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. See, we all make mistakes, me included, and I just had a brain lapse. This is how much my up and down change. This is how much my left-right changes. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, 2 up. See, it's another great thing about Khan when you make a mistake. It catches you right away and lets you rethink so you can make sure you figure out what you did wrong. All right, what is the slope? Well, it's my change in y. So that's negative 8 to 4, which is a change of 12. That's my top number, and it's positive. And then negative 7 to 0 is a change of 7. That's also positive. That's my bottom number. So it's positive 12 over positive 7. What is the slope of y equals 8? Well, this is establishing a rule. So y equals 8 is a horizontal line. All the y values have 8 in it. So my change in y, my up and down change, I never have an up and down change. And my left and right movement can change. So that is a situation where your slope is 0. If it's a vertical line, then your slope is undefined because there's no x change, but there's y change. Determine the intercepts. X-intercept is when y is 0. Y-intercept is when x is 0. So here, the x-intercept is clearly at negative 250, and the y-intercept is at 100. Determine the intercepts of the line. Again, the y-intercept is when x is 0. The x-intercept is when y is 0. If you put in 0 for y, so basically you cover this up, this goes away, you get negative 5x equals 10. And 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. Here, if you put, now, I just did that wrong again. Go back. X is 0. That's 0. I did this one. This one's negative 2. That is 0 for the top one. So then 10 divided by negative 4 is negative 2.5. I'm going to write it as the fraction 5 halves, but you can write it as 2.5. And then when this one is 0, which is the x-intercept, then you're going to get negative 2. So again, y-intercept is when x is 0. This is 0. X-intercept is when y is 0. See, that time I caught my own mistake before I checked it. I had to double check what I'm doing. All right, y-intercept. We've got our slope changing here. So this is changing by positive 14 every time. And this is changing by what appears to be negative 8. Now, we want to know what is the y-intercept. Well, that will happen when this one is 0. So if you add another 14, you'll be at negative 14. If you add another 14, you will get to 0. That's what we want. We want x to be 0. This, we go down 8, then we're going down 8. We're going to do another down 8, which would be 32, which would be 42. And then we're going to go down another 8, which would put us at 34. What feature on the graph? Okay, Namarla graphed the relationship between the duration in hours of using an oil lamp and the volume in milliliters of the oil remaining. What feature of the graph represents how long Namarla can use the lamp before it runs out of oil? Well, how long is time? That's this way. When it runs out of oil, that means this is 0. So when my y is 0, I have an x value. When y is 0 and you have an x value, you are at the x-intercept. All right, we want to know the price of 1 petunia. Well, as you can see, this was a change of 6, and this changed $1.50. Yang Yang wants to buy some petunias. The table compares the number of petunias Yang Yang could buy and the money that would remain in her wallet. Okay, so she got 6 more petunias, and it went down $1.50. So 6 petunias cost $1.50. So you end up with $1.50 over 6. Now maybe you'll go to calculator. $1.50 divided by 6. You get 25 cents per petunia. That's what the rate of change is. You want to know the price per 1 petunia. That's your slope. You bought 6, and it cost you $1.50. So $1.50 divided by 6 gives me 0.25. All right, a couple more. A battery is charging. The percentage of the battery's capacity that is charged as a function of time is graphed. Okay. At what rate is the battery charging? Well, rate, that's our slope. So if you can look here, all right, it goes from 40 to 50 in 5 minutes. So it increased 10% in 5 minutes. So 10% divided by 5 is 2% per minute. Last one. A pool has some initial amount of water in it, and it starts being filled, so the water level rises at a rate of 6 centimeters per minute. After 20 minutes, the water level is at 220 centimeters. Okay, so what they told me was, after 20 minutes, I'm going to use this one, after 20 minutes, this is 20 minutes, we're at 220. Now, it's also telling me that it's increasing at 6 centimeters per minute. Well, I don't have an individual time here. These are multiples of 5. So that would mean that in 5 minutes, it would increase 30. So if it's at 220, then at 15, it would have to be, we just said 5 times 6 is 30. It would have to be 30 less than that. Well, 30 less than that would be at 190. So we're going 15 minutes. We increased, 5 minutes. We increased a total of 30 centimeters. 30 divided by 5 is 6. And that's my start. That's the point they told me that I had. That was the ordered pair they told me existed. Okay, I hope seeing that helps you with the upcoming quiz. Have a good weekend.